We are here. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Rims and Ropes. I'm Dave, man. What's up? What's happening, bro? It's been a long time. Don't talk to me about that. Let's get straight to it, man. Breaking news coming out the NBA. DeJounte Murray has been suspended for Game 5. Clip it. Get him out of here. And Ime Udoka has finally got a coaching job with the Houston Rockets. Now, that he did end up going to a Texas team. I thought he was going to go to Dallas and, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Ime Udoka. I thought that was going to be the brains of the operation down there in Dallas. But Ime back in the NBA, shout out to him. I think he could really improve the Houston Rockets a lot. They do have really good talent, young talent at that. None of them are really that great defensively or that good either. But I think Ime is bringing his prowess, his nitty gritty, he don't take no shit, basically, He could basically, my fault. He's definitely going to make the Rockets definitely a fun team to watch. They're going to be way more competitive. I give him about a good 3 or 4 seasons to kind of be, in the mix. But shout out to Ime. DeJounte Murray getting suspended for Game 5. Y'all might as well get the Hawks out of here. I don't know why, in the first place, Boston lost Game 3. Shocking to me. It was because of DeJounte, though. I'll give him that. Trey started hitting some shots down the stretch. But them not having DeJounte for Game 5, yeah, that's basically the end of that series. We go ahead, pack it up, and get ready for the Sixers and Celtics. Game 1 probably Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. So over the weekend, I think we'll get that. And yeah, let's just get straight to the brackets, bro. I'm gonna go through every series and kind of just give my opinion on how I thought the series was, or just kind of basically single out a few players that I think either did really good for the series or really bad for the series. So let's go ahead and start at the cream of the crop. 76ers are the first team to advance to the semifinals as they sweep the Brooklyn Nets. 2 years in a row, Brooklyn got swept, man. 2 years in a row. The one thing I did see, though, Dame Lillard was spotted at the game. Game 3, I believe? Dame was sitting courtside. I honestly think that is a good move for Brooklyn to try to get a Dame Lillard. I think he's like the one superstar that they really need because they have the role players. Mikal Bridges is actually showing he could be a number 2 option. He got the defense. He could take the shots. He got that, drive, turnaround, pivot, mid-range shot that him and Jaylen Brown do a lot. I think they can definitely contend in the future. I don't think it's going to be enough to either be Milwaukee, Boston, or even Philly. But, it makes them that more competitive, and at least Dame will be more in the ready now kind of situation, and he doesn't feel like his time is wasted. Joel Embiid is actually dealing with an injury. He did not play in Game 4. He may not even play in Game 1, and depending on how the NBA wants to do this, it depends on if, Boston could close out Game 5, which, like I just said, DeJounte Murray's not playing. They play a lot better without Trae Young and with DeJounte in the lineup. So not having DeJounte, they're kind of just going back to the old Hawks, and they're going to get cooked. But back to Joel Embiid. He's dealing with a sprained right knee. I believe that's the injury. That's a big blow for Philly. They MVP guy. It's not going to probably play in Game 1. I mean, if he does, tough it out and go for it, they're definitely going to target Joel Embiid. They're going to put him in a lot of pick and roll situations to test that knee out. It's not a good sign. Joel Embiid has been doing pretty good for the last couple seasons, not getting hurt. So for him to finally get hurt, it's just bad timing, bro. And that's going to be like the big excuse of, this is why the Sixers didn't get to the conference finals or get to the NBA finals. They got all the right pieces. Maxi's playing like Maxi. We got playoff Tobias making an appearance. James Harden is not playing too sluggish as of right now. The role players are doing their job. PJ's doing their job, things of that nature. But it's just a tough time to be a Sixers fan right now. But shout out to Joel Embiid. Hopefully he gets MVP, and let's move on to the next series. All right, so let's go to the Bucks. Let's go to Miami. The Bucks are currently down 2-1. Now, they won, Game 2 was it? I believe. I think Giannis went down with a big injury in Game 1. Didn't return. Miami won that game. I think Milwaukee bounced back in Game 2 and kind of won that convincingly. Now, Game 3, I believe Miami won that. Giannis is back tonight for Game 4. I'm recording this April 24th. This is the day where Game 4 is getting played. Giannis is going to come back. Giannis is going to barbecue them. They're going to win that series in 6. And we're going to keep it moving. I did touch on the Boston series for a little bit. I don't really think anything is there. Outside of this, I think Trae Young should get traded in the future. Like I mentioned earlier, DeJounte Murray, when he's out there with the second unit, they just look that much better. They look more fluent. They look more engaged. They look like they're ready to, like, follow his lead. It's like the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts thing. Carson Wentz is talented, but that's going to be DeJounte's team, bro. Like, he makes them look better. Like, they play better defensively. They play better offensively. It's not just, hey, let's just stand in the corner and wait for Trae Young to give us the ball. It's more so, he seems like he has a good feel for the team. That is something to look out for in the offseason. I want to touch on that a little bit more, but that's what I see coming out of that Boston-Atlanta series. Trae Young may get traded, and DeJounte Murray may get himself a new team, man. He will get a big contract I don't know what his current contract situation is, but he's going to get a big one. I think Atlanta's going to keep him, and maybe they should try to get him like another complimentary wing guy or something like that, but we'll see. Moving on to the next series, I think the last series in the East is the most competitive series in the East. Your New York Knickerbockers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, this is a series that I predicted to start the playoffs as probably the most competitive series, and it's not really looking like that right now. The Knicks are up, 3-1 right now? They have a chance to close out, I think, tomorrow. They won game 4 yesterday. It's a lot of orange and blue skies right now. The Knicks are looking good. Jalen Brunson's looking like an All-NBA type guy. Hey, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. All-NBA guy. Julius Randle still, he's there. He's not really helping the team too much. RJ Barrett had a big game 4, and if he continues to play like that, the Knicks are gonna get him out. But the big takeaway for me from this series, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he's classified as a number 1 guy, bro. I don't think Donovan Mitchell could be your best player and you could win. It's similar to like how I'd say things like this about Joel Embiid. I just think certain guys, they are number 1 talent, but they are not number 1 guys on championship teams. Donovan Mitchell hurts that team, man. So game 1, he came out hot, trying to, have a Donovan Mitchell game, basically going for 50, like bubble Donovan. Remember when him and Jamal Murray were going back at it, 50 game, 50 point, 50 burger. You know what I'm saying? So he tried to come out and do that, and it did not work. They lost game 1 terribly, looked a mess, right? Game 2 happens. Karis LeVert gets involved. Darius Garland looks like himself, and Donovan Mitchell doesn't take too many shots, and he probably finished the game like around 18, 19 points. They look good. So it was like, all right, so if Cleveland plays like this, we got ourselves a 7-game series, right? No. I just think Donovan Mitchell is a little bit too much for teams to handle. When he gets into these, it's the same thing with Julius Randle. You look on the other side of the court. When you got guys that they live on jump shots, just, I'm going to shoot the ball, I'm going to shoot the ball, I'm going to shoot the ball. All right, I missed 4 or 5 in a row. I'm not going to get a layup. I'm going to jack another one, bro, because they just keep giving me the shot. When Donovan Mitchell does that, it takes the air out the building. Not to mention, when they go to New York, I'm sure that building is loud, bro. East Coast fan bases, it's a different level of intensity. And all the East Coast teams are doing pretty good. Across the sports galaxy, you know what I'm saying? I'll get into that another time. But playing against the Knicks, they have a lot of pride right now. Jalen Brunson has a lot to prove. RJ Barrett has a lot to prove. It's a chip on their shoulder, and they playing like a New York team. So that's like dangerous for Cleveland. They don't really seem like they know what to do when it's time to do things. Like, it's like, all right, Donovan Mitchell, do something, or Darius Garland, do something. That's not going to help them win. And my takeaway is, like I said, Donovan Mitchell doesn't look like he's going to be a number 1 guy in the future. He's probably going to have to be a number 2 eventually. But let's move on to the Western Conference. Come on, man. Let's get it right, baby. Let's just start at the top over there. Timberwolves, Nuggets. The Nuggets had an opportunity to go ahead, get their goddamn broom ready, go ahead, sweep up the Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards say, I ain't no bitch. I like Ant, man. I think he had, about 30-something points last night. Jokic had 43, and they still lost. That don't smell like MVP to me. You can't be having 40-point games in a playoff series, in a closeout game at that, and lose, bruh. How you do that? 40 points and you lose, bruh? I don't know if I'm like a Jokic hater or just I'm a realist just when it comes to like impact, right? So you can score all the points in the world. You can't play defense. You can't get a stop. You can't alter the pace when you don't have the ball. You're not that elite. You know what I'm saying? You're not at the top of the crop. You're not in that extra door that only like 4 or 5 people have the key to. But that's besides the fact. My one takeaway out of this series is that it's done. Ant will probably never get swept in the playoffs. This is good for him. I seen a stat last night watching the game where it was like, this is the first time the Timberwolves avoided getting swept. Why are we having stats like that in the first place? I don't understand. But Nuggets are looking pretty good. They're really, they play off each other really well. The one thing to look out for is Jamal Murray's volume shooting, because he does get a little trigger happy in the playoffs, because ever since the bubble, even before that, pretty much, he likes to go for 50. He has those games. He's had a couple good games in this series. Look out for Jamal Murray to kind of either help them or hurt them. Moving on to the next, let's go to the 2-7 matchup with the villain himself, Mr. Dillon Brooks, huh? I think that series is over, bro. They play tonight. Game 4 is tonight. I believe it's game 4. The series is 2-1 right now. Lakers are up 2-1. It ain't looking too good for Memphis, man. It's not a parade inside the city. You know what I'm saying? They might need to switch that up. I don't know what's going on in that series. I watched game 1. I believe it was game 1. Whatever game Austin Reeves basically turned into Kobe for them. I watched that game. Now their bench is playing really good for them. Hachimura's putting up big buckets for them. Vanderbilt's doing pretty good. Like, they have continuity. LeBron James is not dominating the ball. Anytime you have LeBron James on the court just doing this, not getting the ball, it's a good sign for Laker fans, man. That means everybody's touching it. The ball's moving. Schroeder's doing his thing. Russell's doing his thing. And you look on the other side of the court, Ja Morant missed, game 3 or was it game 2? I believe he missed game 2 with a wrist. Came back game 3, dropped 45 points. But 22 of those points came in the fourth quarter when it was garbage time. The game is already over. Dillon Brooks then pissed LeBron off. And when you piss LeBron off, everybody around LeBron is going to elevate their game, because nobody wants to get yelled at. I don't give a damn how grown you think you are. LeBron James is just that guy. When he's that guy, you're going to want to basically play to make sure your spot is sealed on the team, because you don't want to get sent home. Bron will send you home. You know what I'm saying? But out of that series, the takeaway is Lakers have a really good team, man. You got to give credit to Rob Pelinka. He got it done. Once they got rid of Russ, they brought some other players in, and the team chemistry looks better. The morale is better, and there's more guys taking the opportunity to make the Lakers look good. Ja Morant has another injury that he had to deal with. That's not really good. He's starting to become really, really, really injury prone. I don't know what he needs to do. I think he needs to change his game up a little bit or get a reliable mid-range jumper. Jaren Jackson is doing his thing. Desmond Bane is doing his thing, but it's just not enough, man. I think this game is centered around Dillon Brooks guarding LeBron, when LeBron is not even really trying to do his thing right now. LeBron is just coasting, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's looking, he's taking it game by game. He's not really trying to do the whole matchup thing. And it's like Dillon Brooks is just like, yeah, I want to be here, and I'm Draymond, basically. Like, bro, chill out. That ain't what we here for. Moving on to the 3-6 matchup in the Western Conference of the NBA first round. This is the one right here, man. This is the series that I think is probably what I thought the Cleveland-New York series was. This is the Golden State, let me get this right. This is the Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. And the biggest takeaway is De'Aaron Fox is officially the new Damian Lillard, the clutchest young guy in the NBA. This man does not care how much time is on the clock. Once it gets under 2 minutes, that man is money. He dropped 38 last game. He's been dropping numbers. Now, being a basketball guy and knowing that there's not too much film for playoff style De'Aaron Fox, that is a thing, but you still got to give credit to De'Aaron Fox. That man is playing phenomenal basketball. Mike Brown is coach of the year for a reason. I feel like De'Aaron Fox is a second-team All-NBA guy. Sabonis is a second, maybe third-team All-NBA guy. They're playing really good. Malik Monk is cooking for them. On the other side, Steph is doing his thing. Wiggins is starting to get his footing. Draymond got suspended, came back, got a big block, started yelling in people's face. Looks like Draymond's back to me. Klay Thompson had a really good game. The series is tied 2-2. I think that may go 6. I predicted the Warriors are going to win in 5. I thought they were going to lose game 1 and win 4 straight. But hey, they may do it in 6, man. But the biggest takeaway is De'Aaron Fox is him, man. Welcome to Damian Lillard's replacement. I think De'Aaron Fox has officially stamped his jersey for real as one of the top tier young guys in the league. And let's move forward, boy. Let's move forward, man. Hey, Clippers, Suns, the matchup. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. I think it's everything we expected it to be, right? Anytime Russell Westbrook gets my fault. Anytime Russell Westbrook gets a chance to match up with Kevin Durant, he's taking it serious. He's going straight at him. He going for 40. He locking Kevin Durant up. Now, Kevin Durant's still going to get his 30, but it ain't going to be that easy. Russ is going to be out there making it difficult for him, and Russ don't really care about CP. Devin Booker talk a lot of shit. All I do is get Russ going. Now, the one takeaway from this series right here, the one takeaway, Kawhi Leonard needs to retire. It's time. He got drafted 2011, right? He hasn't played a full season in probably like a good 7-8 seasons now at this point. Now, yes, no real superstar plays every game of the season because, just keep him fresh for playoffs. But at this point, man, they've sat Kawhi majority of these last couple seasons to keep him fresh for the playoffs. And he comes out and dominates 2 games in a row and then hangs it up, bro. I've never seen a guy have so much PTO time in the game of basketball. Kawhi Leonard has unlimited PTO time. He plays 2-3 games. He plays for a couple weeks and then he takes like 6 months off, bro. I've never seen it. The Clippers might as well blow that up. Paul George is hurt. I don't think they're going to beat Phoenix. Phoenix is up, 3-1 right now? It's looking like that series is over. And as a basketball fan, you would really want that series to be good. But outside of Kawhi Leonard need to retire, Devin Booker is not playing like a number 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? That is Devin Booker's team. Kevin Durant is playing his role properly. He's taking efficient shots. He's making sure Devin Booker takes more shots than him every game. And I'm here for it, okay? That's exactly how you navigate and expand your game. Kevin Durant wants to win. Going to Phoenix, a lot of people say, oh, he's going to get another super team. But I don't think that's a super team. Honestly, I think it's just Devin Booker and Kevin Durant just, taking turns playing basketball. But Monty Williams has figured it out. They find ways to make sure the ball finds Devin Booker's hands when it gets closer to the end of the game. Chris Paul's out there to make everything easy for everybody. And Chris Paul has those games where he's ready to, do his thing for a little bit. But those are just my thoughts for the first round. A lot of these games are going to be done within the next 2 days. I'll come back and talk about them again. Let's jump over to the rope side of the pod real quick. Backlash is coming up next week, and I wanted to take a look at the card, right? I wanted to take a look at the card. So far, I was watching SmackDown like everybody else, randomly watching it, and they just start throwing some random matches together with no build for this. No build. Absolutely no build for this damn card. So I'm looking at I'm on a website. I'm on Cage Side Seats looking at whatever. Seth Rollins versus Omos. I don't know. What is WWE's infatuation with Omos, bro? How does this man keep getting on pay-per-views? He does not even get TV time like that. He had the pay-per-view with Braun Strowman. Lost. Got the WrestleMania spot with Brock Lesnar to open up night 2. Lost in like 5 minutes. Why is he even in a match with Seth Rollins? What does this do for Rollins? This does absolutely nothing for Omos. Is it like Vince really just like, yeah, look here, Paul. He's good for the image, okay? We put him on a card, he sells tickets. Yeah, he's big. He's massive. I don't understand, yo. I don't know why Omos keep getting on these cards, bro. He doesn't add any value. I don't think he sells any tickets. They might as well just let him literally be a bodyguard, bro. He can't wrestle. He doesn't have any moves like that. Now, Seth Rollins is going to still find a way to make this match be phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's that great in the ring. But this does absolutely nothing. Now they got the U.S. title match. We got Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley in a match for the U.S. title again, with this time adding Bronson Reed. Now, clearly, I think we all know Austin Theory is going to win this match, right? It's going to be some kind of finish where it includes Bronson and Bobby taking each other out, or somebody doing a finish on the other, and Austin Theory, picking up the victory like that. Austin Theory seems a little cold. I don't know if they're waiting for the WWE draft to kind of build up his talent pool as far as like all his rivals and all people that's going to be, going after the U.S. title and things of that nature. He's currently a Raw superstar. I don't know if they bring him over to SmackDown and kind of, get him involved with some new people. Keep him away from Solo for right now, unless y'all want the belt to go on Solo and y'all want to rebuild up Austin Theory again. I don't see the point of this match. Now, yes, you want to have a couple championship matches just because, it's in Puerto Rico. It's their first time in Puerto Rico in over 20 years. So I guess you want to have the U.S. title in Puerto Rico because, Puerto Rico's owned by the U.S. basically. So, yeah, moving on. Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. Now, yes, they're still continuing to do the Judgment Day and the LWO thing. So that just makes sense. It's an easy win for Rhea Ripley. It gets Zelina Vega on a prime time, pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. She has, Hispanic background, so that's a good look for her. The Bloodline, the Usos Solo versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. Now, even before I talk about this week on SmackDown, this Friday, is going to be the WrestleMania rematch. I think it's time to put the belts back on the Usos. Now, Roman hasn't been seen since the Raw after Mania, and he's been throwing out shots through Paul. Been a lot of speculation of, Roman's upset with the Usos. He's not talking to the Usos. Roman made a deal with the Judgment Day, and the Usos didn't know about it. It's a lot of speculation. Oh, it's more cracks in the bloodline. Yeah, right. Psych. Yeah, dummy. Not happening. So I think the Usos are going to not retain. I think the Usos are going to actually capture, nine-time champs. I think they get the belts back. Backlash is really used for WrestleMania decisions that you want to change your mind on, right? So you do WrestleMania. You have a few weeks to kind of build up new champions, see if they move the crowd in any way. I think Kevin and Sami has been kind of boring now that they basically got the belts off the Usos. We all know as wrestling fans, the chase is the best thing about a storyline is the chase. Now, once they capture the titles, how can you make the titles seem important or have any value or still be in the main event picture with tag titles? Now, they're still doing the whole thing with the bloodline, and that's what's keeping them in that spot. I think the smart decision would be to put the belts back on the Usos, and maybe Kevin and Sami could, do a chase or do some other kind of story. We'll see what happens there. I do think the bloodline is going to win this. If they do not win this, it's because the Usos get the titles back, and they want to have Kevin and Sami look kind of strong coming out of, they want the babyface to win, yada, 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 yada. That's just a nice little six-man tag match to get the bloodline on the card. That's cool. Main event is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Now, this is nothing really to talk about right here. I think this is the continuing of Vince McMahon allowing all his top guys to basically knock down Cody Rhodes because Cody built his stock in AEW. That's one thing I know about Vince McMahon. The only people that beat his guys are his guys, okay? Now, if Triple H helped build that guy a little bit, but then Vince was like, yeah, I like what you did there. Let me have him. Those are the only guys that's going to beat a Brock Lesnar, beat a Roman Reigns, beat a Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are guys, like, unless you're, like, legit, like, if you can call Vince at any time, I'm sure Roman could call Vince when he wants to. I'm sure Brock could call Vince when he wants to. I'm sure Austin Theory could call Vince when he wants to. Cody don't have that access yet, and I think they're going to continue to basically strip away all the momentum that Cody has and rebuild him up for next year's WrestleMania where he has the opportunity to get the title there. I don't think he's ready yet. I don't think Triple H is ready to give him that spot. You bring him in hot. You shoot him to the top, and you shoot him back down, and you build him back up again. And I think that's what's going to happen, man. That's my thoughts on Backlash. I think the draft is going to be centered around, NXT talent. Maybe Braun Breaker makes it, goes to Raw, goes to SmackDown. Immediately what you do is you keep Braun Breaker away from Solo. You keep Braun Breaker away from Austin Theory. and you're good. And keep him away from Gunther too. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do. The draft is coming up this Friday. I'll probably make another video right around that time talking about what I think is going to happen in the draft. That's my time for today, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit extra for you today. I usually try to keep these around 10, 12 minutes, but it's been a while. Wanted to talk a little bit. I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. Drop something in the comment section for me, baby, if you made it this far, man. I'm out of here. Later.